What's up, y'all? We have a very special guest here today, Chris motherfucking Dinh, AKA the Dong from Saigon.
That's not.
The boy
no,
from Hanoi, the fun doc bitch, that fuck that bitch. That's how I'm trying to turn you into a rapper right now, a Vietnamese rapper. So when I first moved to LA, I used to live in South Pass, and I used to always come here for my Vietnamese fixes. And there was a very cute girl that was here that never laughed when I saw her. And every day I would try to make her laugh. She never did.
None? Nothing?
It was very awkward. I would come in, hey, what's going on? It's been a fucking long time. Terrible joke, by the way. And I thought that terrible joke would I at least give her an awkward laugh. No, she gave me the finger with her eyes. So we're back here. We are going to try different types of pho, different delicious foods, my favorite foods, and of course Chris. I didn't even tell him that we were coming here, but he's going to let us know what it is to be Vietnamese.
Yeah. Oh boy. I'm not qualified for that job, but yeah, let's go.
Because growing up, and I've mentioned this multiple times, I had the biggest thing for Vietnamese women. I don't know how this trailed into this, but I thought I could impress them by learning how to make a delicious bowl of pho. And that shit is not easy.
No, but can you?
I've tried, and
wow.
I added the right ingredients,
right.
And I thought I was doing everything right, and then it just turned out to be a 5-gallon pot of shit. I don't even think Vietnamese people know the history of pho, and I don't know why I learned it as if I needed the history to know how to make it and shit.
Actually, tell me. I'm not quite sure I know the history of pho.
So apparently, pho is actually a northern Vietnamese dish that moved into the south, right? So pho back versus pho nam. So traditionally with northern style pho, it's very clean, it's very simple. Right. So it's a relatively new dish. It's not that culturally embedded. I think what people have derived is that it was developed during the French colonization time.
Right, right.
So when they were colonizing Vietnam, beef at that time wasn't really. It was people would eat beef, but it wasn't eaten to that kind of extent. The cattle was used more for labor, for work, right? And so that's why when people look at the pho broth, it kind of looks like a consommé, right? So a very clear broth where a lot of the grime and the fat is taken out of it, so it's super clear, very clean. Yeah. And then later on, when it started going towards the south, that's when they started adding vegetables to it. The bean sprouts, the mint, the basil, and everything else like that, which is this pho that we're used to eating, which is like what they serve here. Right. And so my pho broth has turned into ass.
I doubt it. I'm curious.
No, it just wasn't good.
But I think maybe you have high standards.
Maybe that's what it is.
Because I'm sure you've been eating pho since you were trying to impress young Vietnamese women.
Definitely. Chris, let's have you try the spring roll.
All right.
Tell us what you feel about it.
My mom makes this at home all the time.
I feel it's like it's that staple Vietnamese dish that everybody has.
Yeah.
Look at him. He even did it like white people style, where he just dipped it and he didn't want to double dip. What's wrong with you, man? You just came from Vietnam.
I did. I don't know why I did.
Now I feel like
I literally have never done that before.
I'm gonna do it just like you. You've never
done it. I don't know why I did it. There's something about being here with you that just pressured me into doing that. Cheers.
Chris. Spring roll. Good here.
I'm not going to use the fork then.
Oh, all right. How dare you?
Sharing
is caring.
I'm also very sick.
It's perfectly fine.
Really
I told you, I eat a lot of preservatives. My body is preserved. It's super light. I like the chewy texture of the rice paper. It's one of my favorite things to bite into. It's kind of like an edible condom. This is what I call it.
I've always wondered what that would taste like.
People, Trojan, the edible spring roll condom. Think about that shit. This is our broken rice plate. Chris, let's have you dig into that.
Okay. Did you ever wonder what it was like in that moment that someone accidentally found a fermented fish and somehow got it in his mouth and he was like, oh my God,
I think
this
that
is amazing.
Most food was created by drunk people. Because you have to be bold. You have to be bold enough to say, you know what? This tastes like the back of my fucking mouth. Yeah. After I passed out for 6 hours. This might be good on my food.
Right.
That's some crazy people shit.
That's a good theory.
Dude, even like Korean, the fermented bean paste. Who the fuck takes
What?
soybeans and rots it till it looks like shit? It literally looks like a pot of turd.
Yeah.
And they go, piece of good.
Yeah. Because we're programmed to
Stay away from that.
stay away from that stuff because it could potentially kill us.
Yeah.
But at some point, you were either so drunk or so hungry
Or high.
or high, you had no choice but to eat that. Realize it didn't kill you.
He's gonna add the green onions,
Cool.
the astringent green onions, the pickled vegetables. Right there. When you close your eyes, do you see Vietnam? The dress with the collar that goes all the way up into the neck, with the
Yeah.
nice straw hat.
You're wearing it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As I was speaking, I was picturing this beautiful lady, and then suddenly she expanded 400 pounds. And it's me with like this bright red lipstick. Trời ơi. Chào bác.
Your Vietnamese is really good.
Thank you. I tried to perfect it for the longest time just to impress the ladies.
Right.
Tại sao mai không uống beer, huh? What's up? How come you're not drinking beer? And I want to know how to continue the conversation after that. The hủ tiếu, which is one of my personal favorites.
Yeah.
We are going to add a little bit of acidity to it with the lime. Cover his eyes because I'm not trying to destroy. Damn, this is a strong lime. I just embarrassed myself. Chris, take a bite of this. Barbecue pork, shrimp, crab claw, seafood broth, green onions.
Okay.
As you notice, they don't give you a plate of the typical culprits that you see in the beef broth, which is the bean sprouts, the Vietnamese cilantro, the perilla leaf. This one, you have it like this. You don't add that shit. Just a little bit of lime and jalapeno slices.
I haven't had this in a very long time,
Yes.
so I'm excited.
Enjoy. Trời ơi. Đu mê. Con khỉ. How's that?
Very good.
It's very good, right? Nice and salty. Quite delicious. This is the ultimate test. We're just gonna call this Chris Dinh Goes to Vietnam. Even though you were in Vietnam.
Hey, let's go to Vietnam sometime.
I'm down. I just don't want to go because I'm afraid I'm gonna get my kidneys harvested. So
No, let's go.
I'm down, and you can be my tour guide. Everybody's
I
gonna
would
know I'm
love
from
to.
America because I'm hella fat. They're like,
Everyone
he's
will-
either royalty or he is. It's so funny because you can't eat pho without that. I never put that in my pho.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's blasphemous.
Really?
So here's the thing too. I see people look at this bowl of pho, right? Before they even taste the broth, they start dumping all the shit in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, man,
Taste it
the
first.
chef behind them would slap the fucking shit out of you. Like, how dare you? They're like, you know what? Cool, bowl of pho, but you didn't even taste it. How do you know you need this yet? How
Guilty.
fucking dare you?
Guilty. I'm gonna.
Chris, you piece of fucking shit.
You know what? I'm now today recognizing my wrong ways.
Yes,
So I'd like to do it the right way today.
there is a history behind this food, my
I-
friend. A
I'm
history.
a little embarrassed.
Let's have you try the broth first before you bastardize it with your hot sauce, you son of a bitch.
I'm so embarrassed. I'm like very embarrassed. Okay.
Didn't expect that from you, Chris.
Silky mouthfeel to that broth. How was that?
Very good.
You taste the star anise, the cinnamon, the cardamom, which are the main culprits of this broth that you taste. That beefiness, little droplets of fat on that bitch. Now let's have you try the noodle and the beef together, sir. With that onion.
Why did I ever add sriracha to it?
There's pureness to it.
Yeah.
So what I like to do, if you want that heat, just add a little bit of the chili satay. It has a nice like mouthfeel to it.
I'm gonna go all pure.
And eat it.
Here we go.
How do you like it? It's good?
Don't need any of that.
That's what I'm saying. So if you go to a pho place and you feel like you need to add like all this extra accoutrements or condiments, then
Wow.
the broth sucks ass. My thing is I like the way like the cook kind of intends it to be. So I think that's a lot of Asian food. So in a lot of American food, there's ketchup, there's this sauce, or that's actually French too. Like you add things to it to kind of heighten the flavor.
Right.
I think the great thing about Asian food, it's there for you, it's made ready to go.
Right.
So it was kind of odd for me to watch people just bastardize this soup that somebody spent like the past like day or two making, and then you just throw your shit into it. I should slice you in half.
Mom, I'm sorry.
I bet every time your mom saw you, what the fuck, man? Mommy make this for 3 days and you're going to do that to me? kill yourself. And then we have the tomato bún riu, the crab rangoon, tomato broth based. Let's see you give it. So these rice noodles are a little bit different. They're lighter, but it's basically mashed up crab bodies and meat. That sounded terrible. I should never write a menu.
All right, here we go. Definitely a smashed up crab body.
Yeah, it has a really seafoody flavor. If you don't like seafood, you're really not gonna like this. Now, one of my favorite things to drink is to have Vietnamese coffee, also known as Vietnamese crack. Now, I know that you guys had coffee before and you need that caffeine boost. First of all, I'm gonna put this out there unless they want to sponsor me. Fuck Red Bull, have some of this right here. And as you can see, slow drip espresso, motherfucker. Now, this is that coffee press that we see, right? And what people don't do is give that little extra squeeze. And you know us Asian people, we don't like to waste. We like to get our money's worth, even though the shit wasn't that expensive at all. But I like to just get that shit right in there, just sick of it. It's essentially a few espressos with condensed milk on the bottom, which is where you get that delicious sweetness from. You mix it first. You don't want to add this before you mix it because the condensed milk will tighten up and seize up from the cold ice. Then you'll take the eye, then you'll take the coffee, cafe soda.
Beautiful.
This is for you, Chris.
Oh, for me. Thank you. Great color.
See if it does justice.
Okay. So much justice.
Notice what I had to do to mine. So like I said, cafe soda is very strong. I'm like lightheaded because I drank half of it, and with the other half I had to add water because it's too strong for me. But this fucking monster here just drank the whole thing. I was like in mid-sentence, I'm like, you know what guys, this is too strong for me. What? Empty. So we just got done eating at the Golden Deli in Temple City. It was fucking delicious. See what I did there? It's nice. Today, as you can tell, Chris knows nothing about his culture or his cuisine, even though he was just in Vietnam not too long ago, carrying dong in his pocket. Two types of dong, one penis, one money. And, this is one of my favorite spots. You guys should go come and check it out. Is this a sponsored video? Are they paying me money to do this? Absolutely not. I just like supporting businesses that I love. And you know, I think that when you have great food, you can really taste the love and purpose behind it. And that's one of the things that I enjoy. Why do people become great chefs or cooks? Because there's purpose. There's purpose in their food. You feel the warmth. I consider pho like a mother's warm kiss on your forehead. It envelops your body, makes you feel like you're a good human being, even though you've done terrible things in your life.
I just think it's delicious and reminds me of my childhood.
There you go. And that's coming from Chris Dinh, a class 10 rapist.